Why hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Getting Off Tempo. I'm your host Luke and today I'm lucky enough to be joined by H1-KEY. They are a K-pop group heavily praised for their incredible vocals and harmonies and as recently as last year being ranked third in girl group band reputation behind names such as Blackpink and New Jeans. Here promoting their new album and single Deeper. H1-KEY, thank you so much for joining me today and if you'd like to do your introduction for the people watching at home, I pass the mic back over to you.
Hi, we are H1-KEY.
Amazing. Hello. 안녕하세요. Thank you very much for joining me today, H1-KEY. For people who are new to H1-KEY, perhaps you could share the story of how it was H1-KEY was formed. How did all of you meet? Where did everything begin?
저희 H1-KEY는 보통 말씀드릴 때 어벤져스 같은 그룹이다 라고 말씀을 드리는데 각자 다른 회사에서 연습을 하다가 H1-KEY라는 그룹 결성을 위해서 모인 친구들이거든요. 그래서 같이 연습한 기간은 짧아도 서로 유대감도 아주 끈끈하고 H1-KEY라는 목표를 향해서 나아가는 그런 팀입니다.
I love the name Avengers and that totally makes sense. For a group with as strong vocals as you all have, you do sound like superheroes in a way. So that is a very fitting name. You've really exploded onto the scene, like massively, and get so much praise and continue to get so much praise in the K-pop world for creating music that focuses on inspiring others and encourages strong self-confidence. Even with your group name, H1-KEY, which derives from together, with such a strong positive message, what would you say are some of H1-KEY's core messages and principles? What do you hope new listeners take away and feel from your music?
저희가 H1-KEY로서 여러분들에게 음악을 들려드릴 때는 처음에는 건강한 아름다움이라는 그 큰 주제를 가지고 음악을 계속해서 나오고 있었어요. 그래서 처음에는 조금 외적인 아름다움을 많이 보여드렸다면 점점 로즈 블러썸부터 내적인 아름다움도 많이 표현하려고 노력했고 이제 좀 더 많은 음악을 보여드리면서 아름다움도 물론이고 개개인의 그런 감정선들까지 건드릴 수 있는 많이 위로하고 또 다독여줄 수 있는 그런 다양한 음악들을 하려고 저희는 노력하고 있습니다.
It's very important, amazing, and relevant, I would say, especially with today's society, to be pushing messages like that and encouraging the younger generation and to be proud in who they are and themselves. And it's definitely something that your fandom and people who listen to your music take away from your music. And it's something I definitely heard a lot of when being introduced to you. And it's just very warming and very nice to hear and see. So it definitely comes through in the music with those messages. Your song and live clip performance of Thinking About You and your debut song, as you just mentioned, and music video for Let It Girl feel worlds apart in terms of style and sound. When looking back at your debut in 2022 to your latest releases this year, what are some of the key and major changes you've noticed, whether that's with your music development, growing fan base, or the process around releasing and creating the music?
뭔가 데뷔 초에는 일단 보여지는 건강함을 추구를 했던 것 같아서 뭔가 운동도 정말 열심히 하고 헬스를 정말 열심히 했었거든요. 근데 이제 로즈 블러썸을 시작으로부터 이제 멘탈을 챙기기 시작해서 뭔가 내면의 건강함을 추구하기 시작하면서부터 자신을 좀 더 생각하게 되고 또 어떻게 위로를 하고 어떻게 희망을 갖고에 대해서 더 고민하고 더 진심을 담아서 이렇게 Thinking About You까지 노래를 냈던 것 같습니다.
Oh, amazing. So you said that with your songs, you try and behind the scenes as well, personify and embody what the song itself about, whether that's working about or focusing more on your mental health. So is that something you do with all your music then? You actually, when you're writing these songs, you will focus on like, if the song is about feeling good, looking good, feeling like self-confident in how you look, then behind the scenes, you will work out and do those sort of things. And if it's more about feeling good internally, then you focus more on your mental health. I didn't realize that. What's that process like then?
사실 저희는 막 애슬레틱걸이나 런데까지만 해도 운동을 되게 열심히 하면서 그런 곡 내용 자체가 그런 외적인 건강함을 담고 있는 곡이라서 그런 거에 조금 더 치중을 했다면 이번 그 로즈블러썸부터는 조금 더 내면의 단단함에 대한 내용이기 때문에 막
그거에 관련된 책이나 아니면 뮤비 같은 것도 저희끼리 공유를 많이 하면서 그런 걸 보고 조금 표정이나 제스처 같은 것도 이렇게 연구를 하고 이렇게 표현을 하면 더 공감을 살 수 있겠다 이런 얘기도 많이 했던 것 같아요.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. The amount of involvement and in-depth like research and commitment you put to those songs is honestly admirable. It really is. I hope it comes across like how incredible that is. After speaking with so many artists, that's incredibly rare and really amazing to hear. With your debut single being more traditional K-pop, I would say, and to your latest songs being so heavily vocally focused, what would you say are some unique challenges that go into creating and performing songs so focused on vocals and being so vocally complex? When balancing and overlapping, do you find the creation process is perhaps more a practical approach than other traditional groups?
아무래도 K-pop 아이돌 하면 좀 화려한 퍼포먼스를 많이 생각하시는데 저희도 그 전에는 좀 퍼포먼스에 치중을 했었다면 점점 갈수록 이제 보컬을 보여드리는 곡들이 나왔잖아요. 그 보컬을 보여드리는 곡들을 연습할 때는 되게 디테일하게 노래에 대한 감정이라든지 표현 방법이라든지 아니면 되게 세세하게는 여기서 보컬적인 테크닉을 어떻게 보여줄지 이런 것까지 연구를 많이 했고요. 그리고 앞으로도 좀 이런 감성적인 곡이나 보컬을 위주로 보여드릴 수 있는 곡에는 이렇게 디테일한 작업을 좀 하면서 더욱더 완성도 있는 음악을 들려드리도록 노력할 것 같아요.
Oh, amazing. Very excited to see that. You mentioning your songs, they seem to be so relatable and so personal. With Thinking About You, exploring themes of longing for the past over breakup and the struggles of moving forward, and Deeper focusing on a more hopeful message of healing, remaining positive through those struggles. Where is it that you look for creating such meaningful and relatable songs? You just mentioned that you read a lot and you do a lot of behind the scenes research and commitment to the roles. Where else do you look for inspiration? Is there other music you look to, movies, or what art, what kind of books? Just curious to know where the inspiration comes from to create such relatable songs.
아무래도 노래 가사를 하나하나 잘 뜯어보는 게 일단 저의 첫 번째 일인 것 같아요. 그러면서 좀 많이 잘 이해해 보려고 노력하고 또 어떻게 하면 잘 표현할 수 있을지 평소에 영화, 책 이런 부분에서도 되게 영감을 많이 얻는 것 같은데 개인적으로 되게 좋아해요. 책 보고 영화 보는 거를. 그래서 그런 장면들을 떠올리면서 내가 주인공의 이입이 돼보기도 하고 이렇게 생각을 하면서 노래를 사람들에게 잘 전달할 수 있도록 연습하고 하는 것 같습니다.
Yeah, really embodying the character that the song is about, and again, drawing reference from the characters in those movies, putting yourself in the shoes of them, amazing way. Thinking About You was part of your new project, Keynote, with Deeper being the second part of this project. Both songs almost seemingly to follow a natural emotional progression, from the feeling of loss with Thinking About You to the feeling of hope with Deeper. Perhaps you could explain more about what this project is. What was the idea behind the Keynote project and your encouragement for creating it? What do you hope fans take away from the listening experience?
하이키노트 프로젝트를 통해서 이제 하이키만의 목소리, 하이키만의 감정, 그리고 하이키가 대중분들께 전해드리고 싶은 메시지를 좀 더 명확히 전해드리고 싶어서 생긴 프로젝트고요. 또 뭔가 타이틀곡과 수록곡의 개념으로 수록이 된다면 타이틀곡에 묻힐 법한 그런 음원들도 뭔가 독보적으로 대중분들께 들려드릴 수도 있고 또 하이키가 내는 이제 감정과 메시지를 좀 더 주의 깊게 들려드릴 수 있을 것 같아서 진행 중인 프로젝트입니다.
Wow, it's an incredibly good idea. Whenever I was listening to any K-pop artist, any K-pop group, I'm always constantly recommended B-side tracks that get overlooked. So the Keynote project sounds like a great way to bring those songs that might get overlooked or not get as much appreciation to the light. Very deserving, so it's a very good idea. Are there any plans this year for more live performances that perhaps you could tease a little bit to the fans, or is it too soon to tell?
저희야 뭐 어느 나라에서든지 저희 해외에 계신 마이키 분들을 만나고 싶지만 아직 디테일한 계획은 말씀드릴 수 없고요. 그래도 올해는 작년보다 좀 많은 기회가 있을 것 같아서 열심히 준비 한번 해보겠습니다.
Amazing, amazing. Cryptic and keeping the excitement there. On your songs, Rose Blossom and your latest single, Deeper, you worked with Young K from Day 6, who is renowned for bringing a perfectionist touch to song creation. Day 6 being a group my community and myself are big fans of. What are some unique approaches you found Young K brought to the creation of Rose Blossom and Deeper? And what was it like working with Young K on those tracks?
네, 너무 감사하게도 저희가 영케이 선배님의 가사를 받고 이렇게 노래를 계속해서 낼 수 있게 됐는데요. 저희가 근데 아쉽게도 직접적으로 같은 작업실에서 작업을 한 적은 없어요. 그래서 뭔가 엄청난 그런 코멘트를 서로 주고받고 한 그런 경험은 없지만 그래도 저도 정말 데이식스 선배님의 큰 팬이거든요. 그래서 선배님이 주신 가사를 저희가 이렇게 부르는 만큼 이 감정을 누구보다 잘 전달하고 메시지를 해치지 않도록 하는 게 저희의 가장 큰 목표였고 네, 주의 깊게 하는 부분이었습니다.
Well, I think it's safe to say you definitely nailed getting that emotion across in those songs. With your music being so centered around making sure you convey all such positive or even in some case like devastatingly sad emotions, but also having such positiveness and inspiration, I think many people would find a deep value in your advice. What advice would you give to trainees in the K-pop scene or people thinking about getting into music creation?
어떤 음악이든 좋은 음악이 될 수 있으니까 포기하지 말고 열심히 해서 좋은 결과를 얻길 바라면서 하이키의 음악을 들으면서 화이팅 하세요 라고 하고 싶습니다.
I love that. Amazing, amazing words of advice there. Right, well, I won't keep you for much longer. Just one final question for you today, Heike. My community are not only big fans of K-pop, but also big fans of anime. And a question I always like to end my interviews on. If any of you are fans of anime, what is your favorite anime show? Are there any you're currently watching? And do you have any that you'd recommend to our viewers? And of course, it's absolutely fine if not.
저는 혹시 브레드 이발소라고 아시는지 한국 그 만화인데 물론 어린 아기들이 많이 보는 만화이긴 하지만 제가 봐도 너무 재밌더라고요. 그래서 여러분도 꼭 봐보세요. 추천드립니다.
Amazing. Well, thank you very much for that recommendation. Thank you very much for the recommendation. I'm sure everyone will be checking it out right now. Heike, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you giving me your time. 감사합니다. 감사합니다.
감사합니다. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.